It's time to finish the Prehistoric Sea World. In today's episode, we'll add the final enclosures to the park and fill in some gaps. And after today's episode, the whole park will be finished. So join me as I add some final species to our park today. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Hello guys, this is Caesar Creates and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to the Prehistoric Sea World for the last building episode of this series. Today we will finish the park. This means that today we will see a lot of filling up the gaps and all the empty spaces that we had left in the park, but after today's episode the whole park will be finally finished, which I am super excited for, but I will also miss it so much because it is basically my favorite project in this game that I've done up to this point. I love this park so much and yeah, it will be so hard to say goodbye. We will also have the final tour in the next episode, so we are not saying goodbye today. But today we will actually finish the park and yeah, only the tour left, and then I'll upload it to Nexus for you guys to play around, to walk around, to tour and stuff. So yeah, very exciting. I couldn't wait to record that. Of course, we had a lot of news around, like new Planet Zoo DLC. Of course, the Planet Coaster was out. That's why I didn't have time to record anything for Jurassic World Evolution 2, but I didn't want to keep you waiting anymore and I decided to finally finish this park before uploading new episode of, for example, Elm Hill City Zoo or Puerto del Sol from Planet Coaster 2. So today we are finally back and I am so happy about this. So today at first we'll be adding the aviary to the park. I think that I talked about this aviary throughout the whole series, that I want to have it here on the beach, like on this map, on the Germany map. There's actually a beach where we can build on, and I felt that it will be like a perfect spot for the aviary with some mixed like species. I think of it like those aviaries that you sometimes have at the zoos with the water birds, like different seagulls, penguins sometimes. I have recently seen an aviary like this in Bronx Zoo. They had those really cool birds called the Inca terns with the mustache. So this is something that I had in mind for this aviary. So we'll be adding a lot of rocks like resembling the cliffs, and of course a lot of water, and also we'll be adding 3 more regular enclosures. One will be for the herbivores and 2 for the carnivores. I had some free space between the aviary that we are building right now and the Mosasaurus lagoon that we added in the last episode. By the way, if you haven't seen that episode, it is so cool, one of my favorites from this series. I will put the link down in the description and on the screen, because we added the Mosasaurus, we added the Spinosaurus, and we also built a big European enclosure with European dinos, so it was so much fun. But yeah, also in this area I added 1 more herbivore enclosure for actually our first ceratopsids in this park. I realized that we don't have any, and I thought that we just need to add them because we have so many different kinds of dinos and no ceratopsids. So in there I decided to add the Sinoceratops, as it was suggested by some of you for this park, and I really like it. I think it feeds the vibe of this entire park. And also I thought, why add only 1 ceratopsids where we have the new Microceratops as well. So I decided to mix those guys. It sort of looks like big adults with their small babies running around them, which is so nice. You can actually barely see the Microceratops in this habitat because it is quite big, but still I think that they both look really nice together. And Microceratops is one of the dinos from the last DLC that was released for Jurassic World Evolution 2, and I only had the Megalodon before, so why not add some more? So yeah, that is it when it comes to the herbivore enclosure. I knew before starting to build for this episode that I want to add 1 more like carnivore, because I had a spot saved for it on the top of this hill that you will see me build on later, and this was a perfect spot for like a medium to small carnivore. So when I went through the entire list, I wanted to go for something that I still didn't have a chance to add in any of my series. And I have done quite a few projects in this game, like the first tropical park, then it was the Malta collaboration with Jurassic Tom and the desert park, the Cretaceous Desert Park. We also did the collaboration with all the guys in the Unity Park, and of course the Prehistoric Sea World. And in none of them I was able to build for the Herrerasaurus, and I really like this dino. I think it is a very interesting species with quite a unique size for this game, at least. We have smaller ones, we have bigger ones, but in this like middle to small size, there is not too many dinos like this in the game. And I found that like there's this space that I had saved was like perfect for 4 of them, so this is what I did. And after finishing their enclosure, I just went through all the spaces that were still left in the park, and I had this little space that I initially thought of just adding some forest in and some decorations. It is like behind this big lagoon with the Sinoceratops where the zip lines are, and in there I thought, okay, maybe I can squeeze in one more habitat in there. It was very, very spontaneous, and in fact I was able to add one more in there. And in here I also decided to add a newer dino from the last DLC, the Segisaurus. It was perfect because the enclosure isn't too big, and also we have more of those newer species that were recently added to the game in the park, so that is always very nice because often those newer dinos are in the better quality, I mean the models, than the ones that were introduced in the base game. And this all probably sounds so nice, like a perfect, quick little episode, last episode, finishing the whole series. But let me tell you guys that this was such a struggle. Oh my god, I actually thought that I won't be able to finish it because I had huge issues in here with crashing. I don't know why, but suddenly the game decided to crash for me in this save file like every 3 to 5 minutes. It was crashing constantly. Whenever I placed some decorations, some, I don't know, fences, rocks and so on, it was crashing and crashing. So at some point I even thought about giving up. Probably if I wouldn't have my YouTube channel and you guys watching and, you know, waiting for the last episode, I would probably give up because it was so... first of all, I lost so much time to build this. This would probably take me like one evening or several hours to finish this, and actually because of the crashes it took me like, I don't know, 4 evenings to do, because it crashed countless of times. I don't know how many times I've seen the loading screen for this park, probably like more than 200 or something, but yeah, that was such a huge struggle. I tried everything I could think of, like lowering the settings to the lowest minimum, like changing the settings on my computer, like doing all the stuff that I could think of. I googled for it, I tried, I don't know, everything. I found some information that this can have something to do with the amount of the lagoons in the park, that they are very like performance heavy and stuff, and this is basically what is making the game crash because it has to process so much. Okay, but even in the Unity park that we did with the guys, and that was so huge and detailed, I also had some issues with crashes, but not as severe in here because in here it is basically unplayable. I am very curious about the tour. I hope that we'll be able to make it because it doesn't involve any building, and I also really hope that you guys will be able to check this park out without the crashes. And the speedball part is almost over, so I will probably end this thought in the real-time part. But what I wanted to say is that one of my biggest wishes for Jurassic World Evolution 3 that we know that is coming is that Frontier will look into the performance of this game, because they are giving us those big maps and we can even like finish them or complete them all without tons of crashes. But yeah, let me continue that in a second, where I will meet you for the tour of everything that we've built in today's episode. Okay, so let's have a look at everything that we added in this last building episode of the Prehistoric Sea World. Just to finish my thoughts, this isn't even the biggest map that we have in the game. It is sort of like a medium map, and if I would decide to build the Prehistoric Sea World on one of the biggest maps, I probably wouldn't be able to finish it because of the performance issues and crashes. And I think that Frontier should really have a look into that, because there's a lot of us who likes to build like a very detailed park with all those decorations and stuff, and you know, bigger maps that wouldn't allow this because of the crashes. So I really hope that they will do something about this in the future. But yeah, first of all, we added the new aviary. I also like added this path in here, this like viewing towers for this enclosure that we'll have a look at in a second. But yeah, the aviary has a lot of water inside, it has a lot of rocks. I wanted to make those cliffy shore, and has a lot of different flying reptiles. I wanted to make it look very like active, so there's a lot of life going on and stuff, and we have actually 3 different species. One you can see in here, I'm making probably the joint feeding animation. This is the Tropicnatus. We have the Baridactylus as well, as you guys can see, they're also here. And we also have the Sieradactylus. Yes, it is here. I hope that I'm pronouncing this right. So the Baridactylus I had once in my desert series, but the 2 like other ones I never placed in my park. That's why I wanted to add them here. And I think that they all look pretty nice together in one enclosure. And I really like how this lagoon looks. Okay, so this is the lagoon, but we also have this new enclosure in here for the herbivores. We have the 2 ceratopsids in here. As you guys can see, here is the Sinoceratops, like looking majestic. I love those guys so much. And we also have the tiny Microceratus, and they are so small that you can barely see them in this habitat, but they are so cute. I love those guys so much. Oh my god. So yeah, this is their new enclosure. I did something like this with the water next to the aviary on the other side in this European enclosure, and I wanted to repeat that here. So yeah, I did something like this. So yeah, this is another new one. And if we'll move back there, there was this area that was still empty and not done. So I had to fill that in. I didn't do it on the speed build because this was the part when the game was crashing so much that the recording programs that I use don't really like that, so they were like lagging, doing stuff that they shouldn't do because of the crashes, and yeah, that was a struggle. That's why I didn't include any of that. But yeah, I added this whole path in here, like I simply bedazzled it, added all of those decorations, this path as well, the entrance to the monorail, that is sort of like we are using it as a underwater tunnel in here. And of course we added this habitat in here for the Herrerasaurus with the cool viewing log, because this log also has the view for the lagoon and the ocean in the back. So this is so cool. I am not seeing our Herrerasaurus anywhere. Oh, here they are. I love those guys so much. Finally, I was able to build for them. I really like the model of this dino, and it has a really cool social animation. So yeah, so glad that I was finally able to build this. This skin is also so nice. Almost looks like a cameo or something. But yeah, really cool enclosure. Like obviously a lot of water because we are building in the in the Prehistoric Sea World. But yeah, I wanted to make it look a bit more like lush with a lot of places for them to hide in. We added this like small plaza in here and all those decorations around this whole big lagoon because of also we didn't have that. And in here I had this like tiny little space that I decided to turn into the Segisaurus Enclosure. They like to hang out next to the meat, so yeah, there is here as well, as you guys can see. I cannot click on it, of course, when I need to, but yeah, this is the Segisaurus from the newest DLC and the last DLC for this game. Really like this little guy, but yeah, probably one of the more underappreciated dinos that were added lately, but yeah, they're cool. So So yeah, this is basically it when it comes to our park. Every square meter of this park is filled now, and maybe I'll just quickly show you the map, but yeah, as you can see, the park is fully finished, but we will focus more on that in the next episode. That will for sure be the tour of the entire finished Prehistoric Sea World. I cannot wait for that. The only thing that I need to do still, that I sort of forgot and I just reminded myself about, is add the kelp to the older lagoons, but because it was added recently and we didn't have it back then, so I want to add it to the lagoons that we already have in the game, in the park. And yeah, after that I will do the tour, so it should be out not long from now. So I hope you guys are excited, and yeah, this is it. It's hard to believe that we finished this park finally, and yeah, I love how it looks. As I told you, definitely my favorite project in this game, so I am very proud of it, and yeah, I can't wait to show you all when we'll be recording the tour. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and of course, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about our final building episode of the series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!